The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the podcast platform, its affiliates, or even the hosts. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and should not be taken as legal, financial, or professional advice. The host and guests are not liable for any errors of omission in the content, nor for any losses, injuries, or damages arising from the use of the information provided. Listeners are encouraged to seek professional advice relevant to their specific circumstances.
Are we live? What's good, great people? I am Ezel Moon, and I have a special guest in the building today. I am honored to bring to you guys this interview with Miss Terry Champagne. That's Terry with a Y, and Champagne is the real last name. She is not just a realtor, but she's a community builder, a mother, and we are absolutely honored to be sitting with her today. Bring her on up. This is Miss Terry Champagne. Hey.
Hi. Thanks for having me up here.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. It's an absolute honor to have you here today. I'm usually not this scatterbrained when I'm talking to someone, but you do quite a few things. And it's I mean, I know you stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to, but
Pretty
you
much.
are dynamic in those rivers and lakes, so I do want to just open up with, if you were to be able to put a name to each lane that you say that you dominate, right? What would be the name of those lanes?
The names of those lanes,
Mhm.
definitely realtor comes first as far as, well, in this setting, I'm gonna say realtor first. Of course, being a mom is definitely the first thing that I always comes first. I pride myself in showing up and doing exactly what I'm supposed to do because I know someone's watching. Someone's really looking after, looking up to me. I also am big in the community, exploring different places, restaurants, things to do. Um, I'm trying to think what else. I dabble in commercial as well. So it's a few lanes that I don't think it's a limit. I'm gonna just try to do everything. If I have a passion about it, I'm good at it. I'm gonna just showcase it.
I love it. So what's something that you like that's that's been in the back of your mind that you're like, you know what? I'm gonna try this. Like, what's this thing right here? This little thing right here. What's that? Like, what?
So I definitely want to have like a couple of businesses. It's a
Okay.
business that I'm thinking about. I've been, shooting it around a little bit. I don't want to go too much into it, but I kind of want this business to run itself. It's multiple things I just know I can do it. So it's definitely opening up a commercial space. It's something different. It's people want to use it, and it just makes sense. That's all I can say about it. But other than that, I want to start also providing real estate social media classes. That's something that I am going to start launching in 2026. I've been trying to tell myself over and over again, like I can show people how to market themselves. And I'm actually going to finally launch the class. I've done a few free ones, last year, but now it's time to start charging folks.
Okay. Look, hey, no, more power to you. Go ahead. Go ahead and collect you a couple of pennies. Get the
Mm-hmm.
twos and fews
Yes.
until there's more and more. I wanted to go into the origin. Every superhero got their origin story, right? You on your website it says that you grew up as a military brat.
Yes.
Which it seems like it may have in fact inspired you being very amazing at helping veterans move and find their homes.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to ask, with that background, what's one memory from your childhood that shaped the way you view home today?
I guess it's a the whole thing happened. Both
Mhm.
my dad and my mom were in the military, and my dad actually decided to get out the military, pursue becoming a police officer, and that established so that me and my brother could stay in one spot growing up. So my parents tried to make it a big priority for us to be going to the same school from first grade all the way to my senior year. And to this day, I'm still, my best friend since first grade. We're still together. Like that's still my girl. I think the when I help military clients, it's really like I'm really trying to get them to have a home. Sometimes they're moving around so many times, and when they finally are ready to purchase a home and set like roots in a certain area, especially Maryland, it's really important to them. They want to be able to be in a nice area. They want to be able to figure out, is this a place where we're going to grow our children at? So I take it very seriously. And a lot of times they're not even here while I'm doing it. So I have people in Japan, Bahrain, like we're doing Zoom calls. I'm waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning just to do a virtual showing because that's what time it is over there when they
Right.
first got off of work. So it's just trying to make the process as easy as possible. And the last thing somebody wants to do is just come and from out of the country and not know where they're going to live at or not live on the military base. Living on military base was something my parents never really wanted to do. The housing is not updated. It's, sometimes you never know if you even have space for you until the last minute. So for me to ensure that they have a space to move to when they first move here, it's very important.
Absolutely, absolutely. With all of those different aspects that you just named, from waking up early to have the virtual showing, and taking into account like the quality of the houses on the military base, I wonder for you, you know, what is the most meaningful part of what you do? You know, when you find someone a home, what part of that process feels like, oh no, this is my why.
It's definitely my people. My
Mhm.
my biggest clientele is people that look like me. I just got a call today, and she said she would be the first person in her family to purchase her home, as far as she knows. And she said she interviewed a few people. She got on Zillow and they, gave her an agent real quick. And she said I didn't relate to them at all. I don't feel like they took what I was saying even seriously. Like we'll see what we can do. When she told me that, I said we're going to get you a home no matter. We're going to see what we got to do. you
Right.
know so whether it's me providing her with some credit repair or just me holding her hand through the whole process, I ensured her that I would be there every step of the way to make sure she gets that home in the best way possible. So I just pride helping people that look like me and building that generational wealth and understanding the importance of, the richest people in America. They own real estate. Why can't it be us? I just don't understand that.
You're hitting onto values, right?
Yes.
And that what you just said really resonates with me. And I wonder for you, with having to move around, right? And uh like you said, you said your dad said, hey, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and all be in one place, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where in all those experiences were you able to shape your values? Where in all those experiences were you able to, pull like, hey, these are my beliefs now?
Hmm. I think really, I just wasn't always, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't always like, I'm not who I was.
Mm,
I had to grow up. When I was younger, I felt like, I wasn't spoiled, but my parents took really good care of me. And at a certain age is when I had my daughter, 21 years old. I was like, oh, I gotta grow up. I got a whole little person looking at me 24/7. And it still took time. You know, got my first big girl job at a bank, worked my way up there as much as I could, realized that this is boring. I don't like it. Then I went to become in the dental field. That was exciting for a moment, but then I hit the glass ceiling. And I like to do things. I like to travel. I like to take care of my child. It was just always just me and her. And I didn't want to accept that what we were given was just it, you know? So I said, and then I also was always working multiple jobs. I will say, even though, you know, I was a little spoiled growing up, I started working at Foot Locker because I wanted all the sneakers. I just didn't want the ones they wanted to give me, you know? So I wanted, you know, so I've always worked multiple jobs. And before I knew it, I was doing bartending, Instacart, working at the dental office. And I was like, I'm doing all these things for all these other people. Let me see how hard I can work for myself. And that's when I decided to go back to my idea of becoming a realtor, which originated from my grandmother. She lived in California, being that both of my parents were, you know, my mom was always out to sea a lot, and my father was a police officer. Summertimes you go to California or Chicago with your grandmothers. That's every summer I was either in Chicago or California. So when California hit, my grandmother was a realtor. I was her free agent, you know, basically. I was the one putting the signs. I hated every moment of it. You know, I was like, I'm never doing. But then I realized, like, when I got older, how much, you know, we was just bopping around, doing just random stuff, meeting all these new people. And it just was exciting that she was just working for herself, you know? So I was like, yeah. And I remember I told her that's what I was getting ready to do. She said, you're going to be great at it. She said, you're going to be great at it. And this is when she just started got diagnosed with dementia. And she really, like, it was she really understood what I was doing. And even with her going, she passed away last year, but it's okay. But even with her going through the whole, like, really downward spiral, she still would ask me, how's real estate going? That was so weird because she was losing everything. But she still remembered that one little detail every once in a while. So I don't know if that gave me a push to, like, I'm pretty sure that did give me like a drive, like, you know. So.
And you are a pillar of strength.
Yeah, thank you.
Sincerely speaking, you know, with that in mind, I wow, I'm actually speechless because, you know, really, like, that's not common for people to be, you know, especially when it comes to dementia, to be able to, like, pull, like, hey, you know what, when I see this person, I see, you know, this thing, this bond that we have. And also, like, oh, that, to me, mind you, in my mind, I connect that, oh, well, she saw a piece of herself in you, you know.
It would be the same question. However, it still would come up. It was beautiful. So I'm glad she showed me that growing up. I really am.
Terry, you know, I told you before we got started that there was something that we had to do.
Okay.
That was we had to pay some bills. So we will be right back after these messages. You know, I'm trying to be all extra professional, but really all I do is this. I say commercial.
WSAN Radio, the soul of America and beyond. Join DJ Ron G and the WSAN crew every day for the Ron G Morning Show, Funk Friday, and Gospel Brunch Sunday. From local heroes to national guests, WSAN Radio connects you to the pulse of our community. One song, one story, one soul at a time. WSAN Radio, where music, motivation, and movement come together. Streaming live, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and WSANradio.com.
Got me together with this two-piece. It's the good leggings, no see-through business.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Frank Conversation. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being here with us as we are sitting with the Terry Champagne. Terry with a Y.
Yes,
And Champagne is the last name.
it is.
um, in your line of work, right, you've witnessed a lot of life transitions. You mentioned one earlier with someone said with this lady saying that, hey, this is I'm the first one in
Yeah.
my family to be able to get a house. But I wonder, what have those transitions that you've seen taught you about people?
But people don't play about their money, which is understandable. They don't play. If it's $1 more, they're like, what? They just in the hoop. I'm like, wait a minute. So it's that, even though they're spending their hard-earned money, they just want to make sure that they're treated fairly. And so it's my job to explain why certain things happen, why it's $1 more, why this, inspection may be necessary to make, save you thousands of monies in the future, or how much do you really want this house? We are negotiating, and at some point someone has to give. So it is my job to negotiate, but I also need to be able to make sure that my clients are making realistic decisions. And this is the house that you fell in love with. I saw the joy on your face when we walked in. So let's figure out what we need to do, what we need to say to get you this home. Of course, my best interest, your best interest is my best interest. I want to make sure that you're getting, I can negotiate my tail off, but like I said, at the end of the day, we have to come to terms some way.
What has been the most difficult negotiation that you've ever had to deal with? Side note, before you get into that answer, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I've researched the process of purchasing a home, and like I said, because I told you I want to own apartment complexes one day, and I was like, man, dog. So it'd be like, okay, yeah, this is the price. No, this is the price, and then this is the price, and then you got closing costs. Don't you ever forget
Yes,
the closing costs? I'm
yes,
like,
yes, yes.
oh.
Yeah, it's more
And
to it. It's
and
more
this more
to
too.
it.
You got to get somebody to come out, analyze the house. Shout out to my
Appraise it,
LD
make sure it's
and
even
praise
worth what you
what you
even
said.
asked, offered. So yeah, what was the main question though?
The main question was that I done forgot
What
it.
was the most difficult or something?
Yeah, well, so as far as negotiating, what was your most difficult negotiation that you really had to endure and say, you know what, I'm going resilience, right? Like, that you had to
Hmm.
use that skill of resilience.
Dang. The most difficult. It would just be, I think the most difficult was when I asked for 3.5% in seller's help. So that means asked the seller to pay 3.5% of that closing cost that you asked for, right? That that you got to come up with. I knew my client was at the skin of teeth, and we already know what I already know what my client needs. And when we went into the house, it looked great, but I also know that it was some things that needed to be fixed. So along with the 3.5, we did the inspection, and now I'm asking for almost $5,000 worth of work to be fixed before my client even moves in. So I'm asking for them to give them a seller's credit
Mhm.
so that my client coming to the table with 3.5% less, and then also fixing $5,000 worth of stuff before my client even moves in. And it just took a lot of back and forth. I just said, basically, do you want to go back on the market? you know, Nobody wants to go back on the market, Like, let's be realistic here. My client is willing to go all the way to the closing table. We just definitely need, the HVAC service. We want to get the hot water heater service. We need to get those windows fixed. This is a fire hazard now, you know. What if we get to the appraisal? Now this is a lender required repair because my client can't safely leave this house in case of a fire through the window. So it's just certain things you just gotta, the way you phrase it.
Right.
I don't think it was that was a hard question because difficult. No, I'm going to ask. That's my thing. I'm going to ask. The worst they can say is no. So I'm gonna ask.
Every time somebody says the worst they can say is no, I'm always like inspired by that because of the fact that,
Yeah.
legitimately speaking, like, no, you're absolutely right. Like, I've sent out so many invitations to for these interviews that it's been hilarious. Like, I'm like, okay, well, I mean, it's not like gotcha interview. It's a, hey, I'm trying to learn interview. So,
Yeah.
but it's,
Yeah.
and by the way, thank you again for saying yes. I wholeheartedly appreciate you. Just want to make sure.
No problem. No problem. I know my communication was a little. I'll be busy though. I'll be like, oh
Look,
shoot.
look. Listen, they gonna figure it out during the shout out section. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. You were good. Oh, I did want to switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
Being a mother, um, stability, right? Growing up for you looked like a stability that you're presenting to your daughter looks like what compared to you growing up?
Ooh, compared to me growing up, I think growing up in like the 90s, I think our parents, they just didn't know too much,
They were
I
doing the
think
best
they
they
did
could.
better. They did better. It's that generational, what do they call that? That generational curse sometimes that's instilled in especially in the Black community. And I feel like me as a mother, I just wanted to listen. Like really, really listen. Like every day, even before my daughter would really even start telling me how, your kid coming home from school, how was your day? Good. No, you're not going to just tell me something. Tell me it was good. Tell me something good then. And she still to this day, like if I'm busy, she says, Mom, I got to tell you something good that happened today at school. Because I've always said, no, tell me something good. Tell me something good then. Or tell me something bad, but you're going to tell me something. And that just starts to engage in conversation. And then it's one thing for them to just be talking. You also need to respond. So I just not, sometimes parents, they was busy. And so I would be talking, but I didn't get a real response. Oh, really? Oh, that's good, hon. You know, my parents have definitely, especially as I'm older, I can call and talk to them about everything and they listen now. But
Right.
as a 10-year-old that has something to say, you just need to realize that that 10-year-old does have something to say, and you need to give them that feeling that they are heard. So that's always really been very important to me. So today my daughter's 15, and the way that we can just kiki and just talk is just amazing. Like she literally just cannot wait. Like it gets on her nerves that when she comes home from school sometimes and I'm not home, like, Ma, I need to talk to you, but she's going to make it a point to talk to me before I go to bed and tell me something. So I think that's always going to be top priority.
That's an amazing revelation as a parent. You
Mm-hmm.
know, making our kids feel heard nowadays is definitely not a concept that was explored in the 90s.
Yeah. What you were supposed to do? Stay out of grown folks' business.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop. Who was, go to your room when something happens.
You were a
Uh,
child, so stay in a
you
child's
you're a
place. You are to
child.
be
You're
seen but
you
not heard.
right. You too young to be tired. Like what? Dang, I can't be sleepy. Like
I can't be
I
sleepy.
couldn't have a bad day.
Nope.
Like
You
that's kind of you know.
You don't pay no bills. So how
Right,
what you sad?
right.
What you sad
You
for?
know, if you're noticing your child is not doing their homework, it might be something going on with them. They may be sad. They may, have got a bad day at school. Um, so I really do appreciate and my daughter and I relationship is the most important thing that has ever happened to me. Hands down.
Can you give me a moment in motherhood that felt like a turning point for you?
Oh my gosh. And
Mhm.
it still resonates. Like, so me and my daughter, we went to the movies.
Right.
And we was late. We ended up being late to the movie because we were driving and she's telling me about this was a really rough year for her. That year, not this year, but that year that happened. I think that was about 3 years ago. So it was kind of right after COVID. Um, when was COVID? 2020?
2020. I will never
Yes.
forget.
So I had just got my real estate license. She was going through that in homeschooling and she was doing terrible. Like I was still working at the dentist office, so I still was working. So she fell sick. She fell behind in school, like
Oh,
really bad. Trying to stay on top of it, but she's more of a in-person learner, and I'm trying to do this and be in school and all. It was very hard. Got her into tutoring, so by that time she was already in tutoring at one of the big companies. Can't think of the name of it, but she was in one of the tutoring programs, and she was starting to feel very not confident. The confidence level was down completely. But we're driving to the movies and she says, but one thing I can always like, she's 15, so this is 11-year-old telling me she loves that she can come to talk to me about anything.
mm,
She broke down and cried and said, "You are my best friend." She was like, "I am just so blessed to have a mommy like you." And she doesn't know what she would do without me. And for a kid to express that in the way that she did, that was like a turning point for our whole. Like, it made me realize. Of course, I've always felt that way, but for her to know that she has a friend in me, that I'm also her mom, but the fact that she could really, really just talk to me and express her feelings was just amazing.
no, I just,
Yeah. Yep, she sat there and cried. So it was just a beautiful moment that she, told me that.
that's
So,
that's beautiful for real, sincerely.
yeah. And she even noticed that she said some of my friends, they don't talk to their parents. Like they can't talk to their parents about anything. So that was pretty I felt really good. And she told me she was proud of me.
Oof.
Yeah. She told me she was proud of me.
I'm not gonna lie to you. My firstborn, he said that once, and while I was on the phone with
It's
him, and
it's
I got
all
off,
right here, right?
I cried for a solid 30 minutes.
It's all right here in your
I
throat.
was
Like
like, it was like, I was like, damn, that, man, I couldn't even do. I was like, I can't do it. I called people. I got to cancel. I ain't go nowhere, man. Like
yeah.
yeah.
We
I
was
think I
like
called
30 minutes.
RT.
You said what now?
I said, I think I called my engineer. I was like, bro, I'm in the house crying for real.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing when your kid can say they're proud of you. And it's a kid saying that. That was just amazing.
Oh, sincerely. Whew. Thank you for that. For that reminder. And really, I hope anybody who has kids right now and is watching this, whether it be now or in the future, they understand that building that relationship with your child is everything.
And they're
Sincerely,
watching.
yeah, they really
They're
are.
watching.
They really are.
Hmm.
I want to go into the goal of the show, which is philanthropy, garnering support from the audience and putting it towards a charity or nonprofit that you care about. What charity or nonprofit would you like to spotlight today And why is the cause of the face so important to you?
So it's definitely Life Rain. Um, this started with my good friend Dominique Moore. She's an educator in DC,
Mhm.
and she was noticing the gaps that they were not doing in school. So it kind of we're circling back to exactly. I didn't even notice that it was circling back. But listening to these children, these kids go to school every day, and you're like, why are they being so bad? Why are they not doing their homework? But have you really asked them why they haven't done their homework, or why they can't focus in school? You know, so my girl, she does programs to get them involved and listen to them, and big brother big sister program. She also does a lot of things for the community. She recently just did the turkey drive. I think they gave over 100 and something odd turkeys. um, she had a women empowerment month last year, and it was beautiful. It was actually absolutely beautiful. And we just talked about what what's your like what season are you in?
Mhm.
That was the main question that she kept like instilling in us. What season are you in? And everybody in there were in a different season. We were all pretty much entrepreneurs in that building. A lot of us had, kids. A lot of us worked in the community, teachers, realtors, even down to uh, estheticians. But everybody had their season. And just the fact that you got to remember to give people grace. Sometimes we walk around just angry, and you're cursing somebody out because they, I don't know, cut you off driving. But do you know where they're driving to? Maybe they can't. They need to get home to their sick kid or their sick parent, or maybe not. But why are you going to just match their energy for? Is my question. So Life Rain just brings the community together. Um, I love what she does. It's always something for, youth services and women empowerment. She's my main one when I want to talk about something with our people, something that I see in the news. She's the main one to give me the information. She does a lot of stuff with DC, so she keeps stuff in DC, brings it to DC, and uplifts the DC. That's always been her goal, always.
That's a blessing. Well,
And it started in
hopefully,
2018, by the way. So she's
okay.
still, fairly, I think fairly new, but to make it, this far is amazing. We need to keep pushing her.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, hopefully, all those who are underneath the sound of our voices, whether it be now or in the future, they will in fact not only donate their funds, but time, energy, and effort to Life Rain. Thank you so much for mentioning them. Sincerely.
Thank you.
Um, you know, we always like to close with words of wisdom for the next generation. So I would like to ask you, what words of wisdom would you have for someone entering into a new chapter in their life?
Um, accept the old you. Because sometimes we're like, well, I should have been did this, or I should have been focused. I should have been like, if I would became a realtor at 21, I would have been a millionaire right now, you know. But I know I wouldn't be where I am today without the old Terry, and that's okay. Like people's just so hard on themselves from who you were in high school and who you were in your 20s, and why you haven't done this. You can start today is the thing. You can start today. And just use all of those rough times as leverage. When I had Riley at 21, I was by myself trying to figure it out. My mom moved away to Greece. My dad still lived in, Virginia, eventually moved to Atlanta. So it was just me and my daughter. And I figured it out. So it's like, accept the old you and stop making so many excuses. Because how bad do you really want it?
Okay.
Yeah. I ask myself a daily too, not daily, maybe weekly. Would I hire me or would I fire me? How many times would I have called myself in the office and been like, did you do that? Did you you remember that
Right.
paper that I told you to figure out the other day? Did you do it? So someone said that before to me, and I instill that in my head all the time. Would I hire me? Would I fire me? Would I put myself on a disciplinary action by now? You
Mm,
know, show up for yourself.
amen. Amen to
Hmm.
that. Even though we've reached the end of this interview, I do want to say thank you again for your time, your energy, everything which you do. I do want to give you this space though, so that they can understand, what Miss Champagne got going on. So please, please, please let the world know any projects, anything that you have coming up.
Okay, so this Sunday I'm having cookies and milk with Santa. Um, in Rockville. I'm trying to pull up the address. Hold on. Um, yes, that's going to be in Rockville, Maryland, 9201 Corporate Boulevard, Suite 471. So you can bring your kids, meet me, meet my lender partners. Just ask any questions that you want, and also take a picture with Santa Claus. I also have this wonderful listing. It is in it is in Bryan's Road, Maryland, and we have recently did a price correction. It's for $425,000. It's only a 2-year-old townhome, so it's brand new. So it's no need to wait for new construction. We're ready. This house is new and still has the warranties on it. Seller is willing to help with closing costs, all that good stuff. We just need an offer. But it is in Bryan's Road, Maryland. That's 6878 Barrowfield Place. So if you have any questions about that, I'll be happy to get you started. And then I also have office spaces. We have office spaces. If you are an entrepreneur, you're looking for a place to do work instead of being in your home office. I'm in my home office right now, but as you see, it's just I had guests just sleeping there for Thanksgiving, so sometimes you just need a way to get dressed and go out to your office, right? So we have offices in Fort Washington and Waldorf, Maryland. So if you're looking for an office space, they also include podcast studios in there. We also have photography room. It's a creative space. That's what we maker space is about. The office space is called maker space. That's one word, and we're just trying to find place. Our motto is where entrepreneurs work. So you can go in there, have a nice office space, clean, and meet other entrepreneurs. I think working in a space like that, and you see people coming to work every day doing their thing, running their business, gives you a lot of motivation. So sometimes you got to surround yourself with people who are doing well. So yes, makerspace. And if you have any questions about any of this stuff, just go ahead and shoot me a DM on the Real Terry Champagne Instagram page, and I will be happy to assist.
And that is why I was not tripping on whenever you hit me back. I said, hey, look, if you get back, I knew something was going on. I knew something was going on. So, well, most definitely, I do want to say thank you again so, so much for being here. You have an open door. And also, I do want to pass you on to somebody else. Like, there's another program that I really, really trust with my guests, who you your wisdom, your situation would in fact be very inspiring to the young ladies that they deal
Oh,
with. So I would love to give them your information as
sure.
well. And yeah, man, they're called it's called the Girls Who Brunch tour. They are amazing. So I would
I love
definitely.
brunch and I'm a girl, so that sounds amazing. That sounds good.
Absolutely. So I definitely pass you on to them. And yeah, it was an absolute honor, and I look forward to speaking with you in the future.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem. You have a blessed one. You guys, that was awesome. This that I feel not only enlightened, but also, very much so like I have clear direction, and especially I'm definitely going to be asking myself, would I hire or fire myself or put myself on disciplinary action? I'm definitely going to incorporate that into what I say to myself daily. If you enjoy what you see here, please don't hesitate to tune in again next Wednesday, and also check out all the amazing shows that are on this network. Big shout out to WSAN, who was in fact allowing us to stream this on to Twitch, and a big shout out to all of my co-hosts, podcast friends, and every last guest that has come on this space. I'm Ezel Moon, and I'm not doing it unless it's fun and it helps people. Peace.